welcome back to another reading. And if you guys are new here, hi, my name is Astra. I'm tarot reader and I do tarot readings here on my channel. Today I am going to be doing a reading on Jimin, and also it is gonna be a part of the reading is gonna be about him, future things that can happen for him possibly in his career in the next 6 months, his current energy, and the second half of the video is gonna be about his bond with Song Deon. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but one of my members did recommend me to do a reading about him and Song Deon. And my member did mention that there was a video that she published, I believe, about the two of them. So she recommended me to do a reading on these two. So since I got a lot of requests to do readings for Jimin as well, I'm gonna do a solo, sort of like a solo reading for him at the beginning, and then about his bond with her and all of that. Okay, so first let's get started with Jimin's current energy. What is Jimin's current energy? How is he doing? And just to let you guys know, this is my first reading ever on him. I did some readings before for some BTS members, but it's my first time doing reading for Jimin, so I'm hoping to get to know him more in this reading and learn more about him as well. Okay, so let's see, what is Jimin's current energy? Also, what is he like, so I can get a bit of an idea how Jimin is like. What is his current energy and how is he doing right now? Alright, so right off the bat, I do feel like Jimin is someone that, you know, he can be like this sort of ball of sunshine to the people around him. He can be this very supportive person, someone that brings light to people's lives, someone that is very supportive, someone that is very caring. And at times he can also be this calm person that, you know, also enjoys his alone time, or sometimes he can keep things into himself and, you know, deal with things alone. Okay, I feel like he's like that type of person that would be there for people, but sometimes he can be alone or share things alone, or sometimes he's like a person that would keep things or would suffer alone, like until someone is like there for him, almost in that way. Okay, I also just got this image of like this teddy bear, like I feel like he is definitely someone, you know, that maybe loves hugging or being there for people, comforting people. Like he was like this people's comfort person, but I feel like at a certain time in his life maybe he did find it hard to find people that would comfort him. Okay, but I do feel like right now, the phase that he is right now, luckily I do feel like that he does feel loved by people around him. He's definitely surrounded by people who care about him currently, which is good. Okay, because I feel like recently definitely there was a situation where he felt a bit lost. He felt like he wasn't sure how to act on it, almost like there was certain fears that he feared from happening, and they did happen, and so he felt very unsure on what to do in the situations. There's things that he felt, you know, a lot and wanted to keep to himself, but he did find that there were people that supported him and were there for him, and that he definitely felt loved by people a lot recently as well. Definitely I feel like I'm talking about people in his circle, you know, maybe his close friends or people that he knows, or you know, some people from his family. Okay, so I do feel at the same time that even though he was at a certain phase where he didn't know what to do, I feel like he's also high on energy. I do feel like that he feels really positive about maybe things upcoming in his career or things that he'd like to do. I feel like he's planning a big change. Like he feels like right now I'm gonna switch things up to how they were before. I feel like before, like I'm hearing almost like that things before were a certain way. I didn't really have that much control on certain things, but now I will. And now I will do the things that I want and work on the things that I want. Okay, and I do see that he is definitely working on a couple of things behind the scenes currently, and so I feel like he also has visions on what he plans on doing. And so he definitely has been recently distracted by something that sort of worried him and, you know, made him a bit, you know, stressed and down, but at the same time he's also having things that he's planning and working on and excited to, you know, do those things. Okay, so overall his energy is definitely looking good. He definitely has curiosity and definitely planning ahead, you know, into what's next. Like I feel like there's things that excite him, especially, you know, when it comes to his career. Okay, all right, now let's get into his career. Let's take a look into Jimin's career at the moment. Currently, what's going on when it comes to Jimin's career at the moment? Anything that he's currently working on, anything that's going on for him when it comes to his career. Again with the Wheel of Fortune, like I said, you guys, I heard him like saying that, okay, things are gonna change, things are probably gonna be different, I have different things planned, I want things to be a certain way. So definitely he does want to change things differently now. Okay, yes, okay. Yeah, you guys, again here with a similar message. So definitely, like I told you guys, there's a difference that he wants to make now. He wants things to be differently. I feel like there was a certain something that was tying him before, and he felt like he was tied. He didn't feel like he did have that much freedom in doing certain things that he wanted, and he felt like a certain blockage. And so right now, like I said, there is like this change that I am gonna take authority, especially with the Emperor. I feel like right now he definitely has more control on what he wants to do and what he can do as well. Okay, there's definitely still some limitations here and there, but I do feel like definitely he has more authority and he's stepping into a more authoritative figure, sort of. Okay, and so definitely I feel like he's working also a lot on maybe his long-term purpose, on things that he does want to happen, or some sort of projects that he wants to bring out. At the same time, I feel like almost like he's like getting serious of like the bigger picture of what he wants to do and how he wants things to turn out from now. Okay, all right. And with the Ace of Wands, I feel like definitely there's like a lot of creative ideas. He has a lot of new things going on, so definitely there's a lot of new things happening and going on behind the scenes. So definitely feel like there's definitely a couple things, like possibly definitely a main project or something that he's working on that is going on behind the scenes right now, and he's working on things. Okay, so definitely right now he's in the process of planning, working, and doing things behind the scenes. Definitely something is happening. Okay, all right. And he has like a lot of creative ideas. There's a lot of fire in him, a lot of creative ideas, a lot of creativity that he has, especially with the Queen of Wands coming over here. All right, so right now let's get into what is possible for his career or for Jimin overall in the next 6 months. What is possible for Jimin in the next 6 months? Let's see. How is Jimin's career gonna be in the next 6 months, and for him overall? How are the next 6 months gonna be looking for Jimin? How are the next 6 months, career-wise and personal-wise, are gonna be looking for Jimin? Okay. All right. I'm gonna get from here as well anything that's gonna be happening for Jimin in the next upcoming months. Okay. Your hard work is paying off. Conclusions are within reach. And I got one more. What do you need to release? We're gonna put that here. And I'm sorry I'm pulling so much, but I feel like there is a lot of information wanting to come out. How is Jimin's career gonna be looking for in the next couple of months? Regeneration. Yes, definitely fits what I'm seeing over here and have been picking up. One more. One more for Jimin. One more. The tribe. Okay. All right, you guys. So definitely for Jimin, like I'm getting this very clear message. Again, here with the Emperor, he's definitely going to be stepping into this more authoritative role. He's definitely going to have more authoritative into things that he's going to do, more say. And I'm also hearing that he's gonna be focusing a lot more on himself, maybe his solo work. Okay, definitely I feel like group work is here with the tribe, but also I feel like he's gonna sort of separate Jimin and the Jimin from BTS. Definitely he's gonna be working on himself and definitely at the same time evolving with the group and all of that. Okay, at the same time, here with the King of Swords, I'm seeing that he's going to be making a lot of strategic and well thought out decisions. Okay, you're gonna think really things through from here on out. A lot of things are gonna come after a lot of planning, after a lot of thinking. Okay, and so I do see his career going pretty well for him, especially with the Temperance and a win-win outcome in the forecast. A lot of things are gonna go his way. I do feel like definitely he's gonna be getting possibly more attention, and probably his popularity is gonna be increasing more. But at the same time, I also do feel like his popularity increasing, or him, getting more seen or more known even from before. I do feel like that can come with its downsides too. Maybe possibly like not so good attention can come to him either by maybe a certain type of fans, like he can probably be targeted by a certain type of fans that possibly can be invasive or maybe overly obsessive. Like I'm seeing something that it's gonna come, like it's gonna have its good sides, but it's also gonna have some sides that cannot really be good, or it can also be more even media attention on him as well. Okay, but definitely I feel like there is going to be good things happening for Jimin. Okay, and I feel like he's definitely going to be working really hard. A thing about Jimin that I'm feeling as well is sometimes he works really hard, and once he wants something, or he wants something to turn out a certain way, he sometimes can push himself sometimes way too hard. Okay, so I feel like at a certain time he's going to be so high in energy. He's going to be so energized, and he's going to take bold steps when it comes to his career. He's going to regenerate. There are new things that are going to happen for him. Once he is in that energized energy, he might like take bold steps into maybe like stepping into new artistic endeavors, or possibly do something creative like songwriting or creative writing. Like there is going to be a period where he's definitely going to be high in energy, but at the same time, I do feel like he's going to be working so hard that sometimes maybe he can push himself too hard. And once that happens, I feel like maybe he will be wanting to rest a little bit, or take a little bit time for himself to rest. Okay, also see a lot of collaborations for him. Okay, like from male and female, I do definitely see some sort of collaborations, possibly with international artists, and I feel like some of those will be really good collaborations for him, like really good collaborations. Okay, so definitely I do feel like he's definitely going to be regenerating. Something new is gonna happen for Jimin this year, and I feel like at a certain time he felt like things were going round and round, things were repeating for him, and things were going a certain way. So definitely he wants to change that now, and he definitely wants things to be different this time around, and he knows that things are going to be different. Okay, and I also do see some sort of social events or group work for maybe him and the group, like maybe festivals or maybe going on tour. So for him, fan meetings or stuff like that. Okay, so I do feel like there's definitely going to be some sort of social events going on, and definitely new music as well. Okay, but definitely I do feel like he does have a lot to plan already. Okay, and he's gonna release new stuff, he's gonna regenerate and release old things from the past as well. Okay, but yeah guys, that's like what I'm picking for Jimin. It's overall looking pretty great for him. Okay, Okay, now let's get into him and Song Deon. Okay, let's see. What was exactly the bond between Song Da Eun and Jimin? How was the bond between them, and what was the bond between them like? How were things between Song Da Eun, or even how they are currently? What was the bond between Song Da Eun and Jimin? Just popped out. Interesting. All right, and I'm just feeling pulled to view a couple more cards over here. Anything more about Song Da Eun and Jimin? One more. Okay. All right, you guys. So when it comes to Jimin and Song Da Eun, I definitely do see that definitely they shared a bond in the past. Okay. And definitely this bond, I feel like it wasn't just like a bond that was like short term. I feel like it was definitely a bond that goes back maybe a couple of years. Like I do feel like definitely there is some memories, there is some lessons from this bond. There was a certain period of that bond. Like I feel like there was like, I'm hearing like there was certain memories attached to that time. There was certain memories attached to this person. Okay, so definitely there's like a lot of memories, a lot of lessons, a lot of certain time that this bond was, that brings a lot of memories and nostalgia in a sort of way. Okay. And so with Jimin and Song Da Eun, I do feel like definitely they did share a bond at a certain time. And definitely there was mutual interest and emotional exchange and possibly attraction as well. But I feel like there was also a bit of complexity that went into this bond. Okay. I do feel like with the Queen of Wands, there was one that had a lot of confidence and determination when it comes to the bond more than the other. Okay. So this bond kept going on, and I feel like this one specific person was the person that more like brought things into the bond. Like it was like a bond that they both did share, but I feel like it wasn't too serious. Like they both knew that it wasn't too serious, like meaning that they both knew that this person that they are with wasn't their person. Like it didn't feel like a fully committed bond, or a fully like a bond like leading into something very long term, or leading to something like marriage. Like it didn't feel like a bond that was fully committed. Okay. And so I feel like there was at a certain time one of them that felt really tied up when it comes to their bond, and they felt like they were feeling used by a certain way, but they kept that to themselves. Okay. And so I feel like that at a certain time their bond sort of reached an end, and it didn't end really well. I'm still seeing that right now. Like even right now, they are not on good terms. Okay, so I don't feel like it sort of reached an ending that it wasn't really well, and definitely there was some heartbreak from some sides. Okay. But especially the lovers here coming in reverse, there was definitely some imbalance and disharmony, and also here breakup, arguments, bad choices, conflict, detachment, and decision. Yeah, so like definitely I feel like it wasn't an easy bond. Like it did have its conflicts, it did have its imbalance. Okay, but I feel like it kept going on to a certain time where until one of them was like, okay, I cannot continue with this. Okay. But definitely at a certain time they did, you know, care for each other and all of that, but I feel like it did reach a certain point where it didn't continue. Okay, but one of them was like really determined, and they sort of had some sort of motives or ideas or things, you know, that they still, you know, kept holding on to. Okay. But with the Judgment as well, I feel like definitely this bond though came with a lot of lessons and emotional growth, and you know, it did still have like nostalgia for what it was at the time of what it was. Okay. All right. So I'm also like seeing some sort of money here. I don't know how that can get involved, but I'm seeing some sort of like money over here. And I'm gonna get more information right now, you know, of what they both feel separately, okay? All right. So first I'm gonna look just very briefly. What is Jimin's current energy towards Song Da Eun currently? What is Jimin's current energy towards Song Da Eun at the moment? Okay. So yes, for Jimin, I do see that definitely there was like an equal give and take in the past between the two of them. Like I said, there was definitely memories, there was definitely nostalgia, and a certain time where there was a good equal give and take between the two of them, okay? And so for Jimin, you know, I feel like definitely he's definitely this person that, you know, is very kind, very warm, and you know, I feel like he's not someone that likes to hurt someone's feelings, okay? And so I feel like he didn't like the way that things ended between the two of them, or, you know, the sort of way how things were. But I feel like at a certain time he wasn't really satisfied with how things were going. That's like the energy that I'm getting with the Four of Cups. And so there was a certain change that needed to be happen, okay? And so I feel like Jimin does see them right now as distant, but recently, definitely, possibly her posting the video definitely brought him a lot of anxiousness, a lot of stress. And with the High Priestess as well, I feel like at a certain time he also did feel like he cannot really trust her, or maybe there was certain things that she did where he felt like, you know, he was a little bit not sure about her, okay? And so right now I feel like there's a lot of things on his mind. He possibly also, I feel like he definitely didn't like that she did post that video, possibly of the two of them, all right? Because I'm literally seeing him feeling bothered, like his mind, you know, really like spinning, and like, you know, having all these thoughts going in and out, okay? And so he does feel like their bond as a bond that should stop here and stop now. Like he feels like it's something that, you know, he wants that, the last thing for that to happen right now, and it to fully disconnect, or for there to be like boundaries right now set, okay? So right now, honestly, I do not see them on good terms, and there's like a big part of Jimin like feeling that, you know, he needs to leave this bond behind and fully like give closure to it, okay? Because I feel like before this, maybe, you know, it did end in a certain way, but there was enclosure. Like I feel like maybe there was a bit contact on and off, or maybe her messaging or stuff like that, or, you know, something involving. But I feel like right now he feels like he hopes that that is like the last thing that happens, okay? Like I feel like he's feeling that there needs to be a certain boundary set, and he just wants to leave this thing behind, okay? Definitely a sense of loss as well, loss of trust, okay? There's some things that he does want to say, but I feel like there's a lot of feeling of him holding back as well, and, you know, not really wanting to speak up unless like he really needed to, okay? All right, and I just want to mention, like, I feel like he doesn't want things to he didn't want things to turn out badly, or he doesn't want to do anything bad to her, or maybe anything else, okay? But I feel like there is certain things that maybe are going on, like maybe legal talks or stuff like that, okay? But I feel like he's sort of holding back on that. But I feel like there's definitely certain talks about maybe legal stuff, or maybe I'm also like feeling that there's like stuff relating to money of some house, maybe. I don't know if it's like something like for legal action or something else, okay? But I feel like he wants to stay quiet, okay? But I feel like some people around him are like talking to him about certain stuff like that, okay? Like I mentioned, I feel like definitely Jimin, like, sort of, he's not really the type of person that would want to hurt anyone or do anything bad to anyone, okay? But yeah, I just want to mention that. Now I'm gonna go into Song Deon. Let's see, what is her current energy towards Jimin right now? What is Song Deon's current energy towards Jimin? Okay, guys. So when it comes to Song Deon towards Jimin, I do feel like honestly that she definitely does feel like a sense of loss when it comes to the bond that they shared, but I feel like it's almost like she still does have attachment to that bond. Like she's still not fully over, the bond. Like I feel like she still, feels a certain attachment to it. She still is almost living like it's almost still there, okay? Like she knows that it's definitely like things, have almost ended between the two of them, and there's like a sense of loss, but I feel like she's like still like almost attached to that bond still. Like she hasn't fully went over. She didn't really get that much closure between the two of them, okay? And definitely, like I said, there was definitely certain conflicts at a certain point when it comes to their bond, okay? And I feel like there was certain things that weren't the way that she wanted when it comes to their bond. Like there was certain things that she did want to happen, or she did want to turn a certain way, and they didn't. And I feel like her sharing the video in a way, she knew it would shake things up. She knew that, it would be a big thing, sharing that video. But at the same time, I feel like she feels like since she didn't get certain things that she wanted in the relationship, it's almost her way of like sort of taking control of things right now, okay? Like in a way, like she did want recognition that possibly she didn't really get the way that she wanted in the relationship. Like that's like what I'm hearing, okay? Definitely I feel like she's going through some things in her own way, but I feel like it's definitely a step that she did want to take, okay? She knew that Jimin didn't want this video to be shared, but I'm also hearing that I know this is not what you want, but I'm gonna do what feels right to me, okay? So yeah, you guys, I feel like, she knows that their bond in a way is over, and she does feel still a sense of loss about it. So like I said, I feel like she's not fully over, like she's not fully accepting it in a certain way, okay? But I feel like there is something that she did want to prove, okay? But yeah, guys, that is what I'm picking for Song Da Eun and Jimin. I really hope that you guys like this reading. Part of it about Jimin and part of it about Song Da Eun. I really hope you guys liked it. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. And if you guys have any other questions about Jimin or any other BTS members, I do have a membership where you guys can join and ask monthly questions in the monthly Q&A about your favorites. And I will have the link down in the membership down below if you guys liked it. But other than that, if you guys like this reading, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hope to see you guys next time. Bye!